Healesville people will know that one of the environment groups that's very busy in Healesville is My Environment, and their aim is to bring people together, bring ideas together for the conservation of Australia's natural places. And our next speaker is going to speak on behalf of My Environment, Adam Menary. Please come up.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everybody. This is a brochure that we put together for this evening, and we tried to put them up around town, but they just kept coming down. It was a very, very difficult situation for us to actually try and get the message out that the meeting was on. Oh, sorry. So fortunately, we were able to email out, and we have some other networks. But what this has everyone seen this diagram either through a notice or via an email? Yeah. It's been in the paper. Yeah, good, excellent. What this is a brochure. We've got a big tree here. This tree I photographed actually a few years ago. It's actually on the front of the Green Carbon report, and that's a report that was done into a study into the value of carbon in Australian forests, and unfortunately it's ended up in a proposed coup for next year over in the Borbor regions. There are some very significantly large trees there, and we believe that error has occurred because they're not aware that the trees are there and that they're so large. It's just not in the mapping. The leadbetter's possum, Victoria's fall emblem. There's only estimated to be about 1,000 of those left, and they're living around in the forests around us here. And down the bottom here, a beautiful tree that was 11.5 metres around. It was a massive tree. It was left. It wasn't cut down, which is what is supposed to happen. However, piles of wood and slash were piled up the prescribed distance, 3 metres from the edge of that tree, and it was burnt about a month ago, 4 months after the area was logged, and that tree has been killed. So look, if one thing that I'd like people to walk away with tonight is that we have launched a website to really get the truth out there to people, to get through to people some of the issues that are going on. It's called myenvironment.net.au. So if you can remember that, myenvironment.net.au. And basically, if you visit the site, there's a whole lot of issues that are going on. We're happy to have debates and information up there. And if you go to this is the front page, down here in the bottom left, you can click on the sign up and you'll get regular information and feedback from us. I've been involved really reviewing this for the last 7 years. My background is a business management consultant, and I do supply chain risk management. And it never ceases to amaze me when I look into the structure of the government bodies that actually run this logging. Basically, it all starts with the Department of Sustainability and Environment, which is an interesting name for a logging agency. But Gavin Jennings, obviously our Environment Climate Change Minister, and Michael Crutchfield are accountable there. On the VIC Forest side, we've got Joe Helper, and he's agriculture and small business. Now what happens is that the Department of Sustainability and Environment pretty much look at the landscape values and they say, look, this region or this area is something that could be logged. And so they basically earmark some areas for logging. Then what happens is VIC Forests go out and they are supposed to, ground truth that the forest, and they suggest back to the DSE exactly where they think those clearfell coops should go. Then the DSE sort of approve that, and they send back, the authorisation, if you like, for VIC Forests to go ahead and do that. And that's what they're doing at the moment with 146, 48 new amendments after the fires, because the fires burnt a lot of the areas that they were going to log, so they're needing to get some more. Basically then VIC Forests engaged some contractors to go out there and do the logging, and the DSE, or the Department of Sustainability, employs some auditors to go out there, and what they do is really are supposed to keep an eye on what the contractors are doing. So that's the overall process that's taking place. There are two performance measures out of Our Forest, Our Future, and basically the two performance measures that are purported to be in place are the State of the Forest report, which comes out every 5 years, and an audit, which happens every year. Well, the last State of the Forest report that came out, 2/3 of the data was missing. This comes out every 5 years, and this really underpins sustainability. It is the performance. There are indicators that they provide within their own organisation, that's VIC Forests, but in terms of the performance management, the last one, 2/3 of the data missing. And as far as the audits go, well, there hasn't been one since 2007 because they're reviewing the process, so it's been 3 years without an audit. So again, we've talked about the socio-economic benefits and we've talked about the money. Another way I like to look at it is if you take the $5 million, you divide it by about 500 coops that they log a year in Victoria, then every time they go in Clearfield, they're losing $10,000. And, that's really being eaten up by 57% of their total revenue is going to wood chips. We had a spokesperson from VAFI on 774 saying these areas are not left like car parks, they are regenerated. Well, in the MAHP report, as we heard from Steve, there were some issues there where 89% of the coops haven't been regenerated, and that's coming up with a total area of 15,087 hectares unregenerated. So I think we could probably park quite a few cars on that sort of an area. Sorry about the mix-up there. Another one of their objectives, and again we're talking about the sustainability indicators here, is really conserving biodiversity. And biodiversity is plants and it's animals, and it's having a lot of them and a lot of variation of them. One, and we've mentioned one, this is that's a fully grown leadbeater's possum, by the way. They're very, very tiny, very cute. As we said, there's only 1,000 of them left. So the conservation of those possums doesn't mean chopping down their habitat or cutting down trees that are 7.5 metres in circumference. Okay, so this tree, cut down in April, only a few kilometres from the Talangi township, was in, we believe, Zone 1A leadbeater's habitat, and that tree is pre-1900, so it should not have been cut down. I'll step out the diameter for you. It's about that round. Okay, so we've got to move right along. Basically, that's where the coop is. You can see that on this slide there are two squares that are white, and those squares are areas where leadbeater's possum isn't known to occur. And the green coop that just flew up there is in an area where it was. So that, again, going back to the DSE, supposedly, allocating these areas for logging, VIC Forests going in and deciding that that's a good spot to put them. They're not even reviewing the available documentation that says that there are leadbeater's possums there. And that's what the coop looks like now. One of the things I'd just like to finish on, as we've been in here tonight, there have been a lot of trucks rolling past and they've got native forest logs on them. These are photos of trucks travelling at night. Under the management procedures in 2009, it clearly states that between sunset and before sunrise, Monday to Saturday, log trucks are not allowed to be operating on our roads. Now, we've had people walking out of hotels in the main street, refusing to pay, refusing to come back because of the noise of the log trucks. We got people eating and drinking in the main street. It's a tourist precinct, and we've got trucks rolling through. And so we've been asked to encourage people to capture the date, the time, the registration plate number, and the location of these breaches, and email them to breaches@myenvironment.net.au. So another thing you guys can do, and it is really important, it's write to your federal and state, we've got 2 elections coming up, write to your local candidates and tell them that you want to transition out of native forests into the available plantations. Very important that everybody does this. They need letters from concerned people in the community. And finally, there were some brochures on your seats when you sat down. We are employing a lot of scientists, we're employing a lot of lawyers, we're a volunteer organisation, we don't take a wage for any of this stuff. So if any of you, there's some buckets going around, if you can make a gold coin donation, that'd be much appreciated. We do have deductible gift recipient status, so if anybody would like to make a larger donation, you can obviously get that off your marginal rate of tax, so come and see us about that. And we'd really, really appreciate some assistance. But yeah, look, if you do want to make some donations or fill out that form, put it in the bucket, that'd be great. Thank you very much.
By the way, might be a question.